There's a homepage version when you're not signed in. If you sign up, since we don't have an account, we can create an account and then we can sign up. Then we have the option to set up two-factor authentication. So if we put in our phone number and then we send a code. For now we've got it simulating, but it would typically send it to the phone number. So then we would put in the code that we see on our phone number and get it right. It'll allow me to create my account. And now this is what the homepage looks like when we are signed in. If I just log out, it does remember created accounts. It has to be exactly the same, otherwise, like if I do it differently, it says username or password incorrect. If I do it correct, it says login, and then it gives me another code. And I would put it in here. And of course, if I get it wrong, it'll tell me wrong code. But if I get it right, it brings me into the page. Now I have 4 different languages that can be seen here, and also on the side it shows the progress bars. And then in the profile section, it would show progress I've made for each language and the possible achievements I can get. So far these are just placeholders for a friends list full of their information. If I do an exercise, it shows me the competition where I can compete with my friends, and then my languages, which I can start here. So if I go to JavaScript, 9 whole chapters full of content with 4 lessons each from 1.1 to 1.4, and then there's 5 exercises per chapter as well from 0.5 to 0.9. In each chapter it teaches a certain type of topic. So chapter 1 teaches variables, data types and outputs, and each chapter gets harder and harder, building on the content that was previously taught. And so if we do exercise 1.1, it will teach the user. So it first tells the user just to run the code, and the user can tell that from this code it produces 42. So then it says to change it to produce 95. Since it says 42 here, the user would change it to say 95, and then they'd see that it changes. Then they'd go to the next one and they run it. It says hello Bob from this code, and they want it to say hello Steve. So we change Bob to say Steve, and we run it and it says flawless. And that's it for exercise 1.1, in which it turns green. And when this turns green, chapter 1 turns yellow to identify that chapter 1 has now started. And when exercise 1.2 is yellow, it shows that exercise 1.2 itself has been started. So if we run this and say we don't do what it asks of us immediately, it will just run it, but it won't give the message to tell us that we got it correct. If we change it to make 10 on the second try, it gives us a different type of message. The user is given a different type of motivation based on how well they do. Then they also have exercises where, for example here, they have to apply what they've just learned and code it themselves based on the instructions provided. And run it, it tells us it's correct and it runs it up here. Say if I did Brisbane instead, it would say output is not correct, and it would run what I just printed. So whatever is typed in here will be printed as if this is JavaScript code itself. Homepage, it will now say that your most recent exercise was 1.5, and the date today is the 8th of June, and it produced that here, in which that's also shown in the JavaScript page as well. This is the current prototype for Coding4Kids. Thank you for listening.